Today I'm going to tell you guys everything that shocked me when I moved from Hungary to America. As non American people would say, everything is bigger in America. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Chlorinated Thoughts. Today I am back with my 5th week straight of posting. I'm really happy about that. I went over this in my last video. If you haven't seen my last video, it's all about raising your standards. And I think everyone can benefit from knowing a little more about raising their standards. If you are watching this video and you're not subscribed though, I'm very disappointed in you because that means you haven't fully joined our community. So you should go and subscribe right now to fully confirm that you're in our cute girls club because honestly, there's nothing better than being in the Chlorinated Thoughts community. Like, ask any of my subscribers, they will tell you it's lit. Today, I'm going to be talking about. I wanted to do a kind of a different type of video. I feel like I wanted to do more of a story time style video instead of kind of like a how-to video. I feel like a lot of the time when we watch videos, it's kind of this like aggressive productivity. Basically, I don't want all of my videos to be about like leveling up. You know what I mean? I feel like it can get very draining, and sometimes I feel like when I watch those videos I can get a little drained too. A lot of the times it can help me, but sometimes I'm like, okay, this is enough. Recently I've been watching Stephanie Sue, like all of her like, well, I've been watching her Rotten Mangoes videos, her Rotten Mango YouTube channel, true crime stories, and she's an amazing storyteller. Like, genuinely, the way she tells stories is so captivating. So today I want to talk about culture shocks that I had coming to the US as a foreign student athlete. Something you guys need to know about me is I've lived in 3 countries so far in my life. Number one, I was born and raised in Kuwait, which is a small country in the Middle East. It neighbors Iraq and Qatar and is also very close to the UAE, like an hour flight. Then, when I was in 9th grade, I moved countries to Hungary, which is like where I'm actually from. I'm Hungarian by blood. My parents are Hungarian, my whole family's Hungarian. I moved to Hungary. Hungary is a country in Europe. I lived there for 4 years. I moved to pursue my swimming career further. And now, in August of 2023, I moved to America, Arizona to be specific, to be a student athlete here at ASU. 3 very different cultural backgrounds. Number one is Kuwait, which is a Muslim and Islamic culture. Hungary is a very European, Christian, more Christian culture. And the US is a American culture. When I moved to America, it was just something very different. I had never been to America until I came for my freshman year of college. So it was just, something really different. Let's start with when I got off the plane. So my flight was from Budapest to London, then from London to Dallas, and then from Dallas to Phoenix. So when I was in Dallas, like when I went from London to Dallas, the moment I got on the plane to Dallas, like already someone wanted to, like a random person wanted to have like a random like conversation with me. And this is really weird, a really interesting thing that happens in America that doesn't really happen in Hungary or Kuwait, is that random people like want to have like small talk with you, and like random people will like say something to you, like not even in a bad way, just like, or like smile at you. Like, they're super friendly on the outside. Honestly, when you come to America, you have to be really witty. Like, you have to be like it's kind of like a, like if someone says to you like, oh, nice shirt, you're like, oh, thank you so much, or like be fast and witty with your response. And I think that's something I really had to practice because I was so surprised when this like random person would like start to talk to me, because genuinely in Hungary and Kuwait, everyone just keeps to themselves. They keep to who they know as their friend. We don't really go out of our way to talk to strangers. And I feel like this is a really good thing that America does have, is like people are not afraid to just like make your day better by telling you like, oh, I like love your outfit, or like, oh, that shirt looks so good on you. That was the first thing I experienced when I stepped on American soil. People here, I think, from the outside looking in, or when you first interact with them, Like they just seem very nice, like very friendly, a little bit too nice and friendly. And sometimes it's interesting to see that like on the outside they seem like they care so much and they seem so friendly, are very nice on the surface. And I don't even mean that in like a bad way. I think that is genuinely how American like culture is like they will make you feel like you can come to them for with anything, and they will help you like right away. But I think a lot of the time they just say that in order to be like polite or like nice, because like back home, if we don't genuinely mean something, we usually won't say it. If like I see someone's shirt and I don't like their shirt, I'm just not going to say anything. But here, I feel like if someone doesn't like your shirt, they will still tell you they like your shirt. You know what I mean? Like it's kind of this weird thing where I feel like on the outside they will be way nicer than what they actually are thinking in their head. And I think sometimes this can be good, but when it comes to like deeper friendships, I think you have to be very cautious of this, is like be cautious on who you are befriending and who you are telling your secrets to, because a lot of the time they can like show you a front and then like completely like act a different way. And yeah, I guess that's like my kind of little warning. Some people are obviously super friendly on the outside and the inside, but I think it's more of a green flag if they're not as nice on the outside, because that means they're just being like way more real than like other people in America are. So after I got picked up at the airport from actually one of the girls on the team, which was super nice. Actually, yeah, she took me to Target. That was one of the main places I really wanted to go to when I was in Hungary. Was, oh my god, I wonder what Target is like. I feel like it was because I watched so many YouTube videos and it was like, let's go to Target and organize my room, and like let's go to Target. Okay, this is really embarrassing, but the when I was smaller, I was like into slime, like super into slime. I had my own slime business in school, and then everyone copied my slime business, so I had to shut down. I went bankrupt. No, I didn't go bankrupt, but I would be like really good at selling my slime. But whenever I would watch videos of people making slime in America, they would always use Elmer's glue. They did not sell Elmer's glue in Kuwait or Hungary. So, like, when I was younger, I was like, I wish I could go to America and get Elmer's glue. Like, it was my dream to get Elmer's glue. So, I genuinely fulfilled my childhood dream of getting Elmer's glue when I came to America, because I got Elmer's glue and I made slime. So, the child in me was very happy and proud. We went to Target to get some like basic dorm stuff. And I was the first person that moved into our dorm because I had three other roommates last year in my dorm. Two of the girls that were going to be my dorm roommates picked me up, and that was the first time I met them. And they were like, okay, let's go to Chick-fil-A. And I was like, Chick-fil-A? This is another thing I really wanted to try, was Chick-fil-A. And anyways, we went to Chick-fil-A, and obviously you have to pay. So I got my card out and tapped tapped the money, and it was like tip. I was like, oh my god, I forgot that Americans need tip. And that was the next culture shock, was like tipping, because in Hungary, if you're going dining out in a fancy restaurant or anywhere, you like they charge you an automatic service fee. It's called a service fee. So they already add that on, and it's like a certain percentage of the money you have made, so you don't have to choose how much you are tipping for them. They just include it, or they don't include it at all because it's included in their salary. It was super weird to me that like I have to determine, like I basically am determining how much this person is going to make this month. You know what I mean? It's just like a weird concept to have, and I feel like I low-key feel like tipping culture has to change, because this is my opinion as a person that is not from America. Because now I found out is like the more you tip, the more that person makes. And now I feel bad for all the times I've like haven't tipped that much. I feel like tipping has to change here. They should already have enough of a salary that like tipping shouldn't be involved with people that are like just taking your order. You know what I mean? I don't know. That's just my opinion. and but I'm also a college student that has is like tight on financials right now, you know what I mean? So it's very different. And honestly, I don't think I would work at a restaurant in a college town because probably people will not tip that much, you know? And I had to ask my friends, like, how much do I tip them? Like, I genuinely don't know. And to this day, I genuinely don't know how much I should tip. I will not disclose how much I usually tip. The next thing I'm going to touch on is the team environment I have experienced in all three countries I've lived in. So I'm going to start with Kuwait because that's where I experienced my first swimming competitions, my first swimming team. Kuwait, I think by far, was the best swimming team I've ever experienced in my life, which is interesting because, like, compared to the fact that, like, kind of like taboo for men and women to be training together, it was such an accepting environment, and like we genuinely were a family. We were a real team, you know. Hungary, everyone was for themselves, you know, everyone swam for themselves. It was very much considered an individual sport, and I know that obviously swimming is an individual sport. That doesn't mean we can't act as a team, you know. And I think in Hungary what was missing was a good team culture of people just supporting each other and cheering for each other. Now when I came to America to swim, the team culture, so team centered. Like genuinely we are a team and we are here to like support each other. No matter if there's any differences between people on the team, or like obviously we're a huge team of women and men and women. Not everyone is going to get along, like not everyone is going to be friends with everyone, and that's not an issue, but I think it's really important to be able to set aside your differences and your issues when you're there to compete as a team. And I think my team does a really good job at that, is just setting your differences aside and be a team and be there to support each other. A huge and new motivation for me in America that I never really felt was like I have to swim good for the team, not just for myself, because it genuinely counts for the team, you know? And I think that was a really good culture shock that I had in terms of my swimming and my sport, is that you are genuinely in it for the team, and genuinely it does feel like a team sport even though we are all like individually swimming, you know. What was really interesting to me is like I've never done this before with any of my teams, is like cheering for each other during practice, like let's go guys, like we can do this. And I think that was such a healthy thing for me to learn. Like in the beginning I was so nervous to like shout and be like let's go guys, but now it's something that comes so naturally, and it motivates me so much too when someone says it, so I know that um I hopefully am motivating other people when I yell out something like that. And I think that was such a good thing that I can also take home to Hungary when I train in the summer, is like just like cheering for people during practice to like keep going and like let's do this, you know. After we went to go eat at Chick-fil-A, and I don't even know if I tipped, but it was my first time ordering in America, so please. As the time went on here, I quickly realized that the cost of living is way more expensive in America than it is in like any of the other countries I've lived in. And for some reason, I genuinely thought that America was like such a cheap country to live in. I don't know like why. And also something that's pretty annoying here is that you can't really trust like the foods that you get at like a normal Walmart or something, because you can like you have to automatically assume that if it doesn't say um organic or grass fed or non GMO, which is like it doesn't have any hormones, that it is probably bad for you and will like mess with your hormones. And so I have to buy everything like 50 times more expensive because I have to assume that everything else that is like on the shelf that doesn't have those labels is like genetically modified and like bad for me, you know. Another thing that I actually is a huge thing that I realized is that in Hungary, when you send Snapchats like streaks, you send one streak to like all the people you have streaks with. And here, like that's not what they do. Like they send pictures separately to everyone that they have streaks with. Like they literally take a picture, send, take a picture, send, take a picture, send. I'm like, why? Like why? And also they get so offended if you don't like snap them back or something. I'm like, oh my god, this is so draining. I tried to do it. I did it maybe for like 7 months, and then I was like, ugh, I genuinely cannot be bothered to open open people's Snapchats and see their face and then send another picture back with my face. Like, what's the point? I get it if you have like a crush and you want to like snap them, but honestly, like I see my friends here every day. I don't need to see their faces on my Snapchat too. You know what I mean? Like, that's just my opinion. The only person I have streaks with on my Snapchat is my boyfriend. But that's just for funsies. I think we were like 500 now, but honestly, I wouldn't really care that much if we lost them. You know what I mean? So it's like not a big deal to me. Another thing, everyone has their own private story on Snapchat. So they add the people that they like or are close to, and they name it like this thing. So my private story is called Becoming American, which is kind of fitting. Yeah, everyone has their own private story, and like if you're on their private story, you can assume that you guys are close or they like you or something. Like, not like you, but like just like you as a person. And then if you guys are beefing or like are like not really friends, like that good friends, or you guys had drama, the way you will know that you guys had a big drama is if they remove you off their private story. Like, that's genuinely how it goes here. There, or if they turn their location off. Location, like you're turning on your location on Snapchat, is also a big thing. Everyone always checks where other people are. So nosy. Like, genuinely so nosy. If you see that like someone, you can't see someone's location that you usually see, you can either assume that they're like doing something bad that they don't want anyone else to know about, or that they don't like you anymore and they don't want you to see their location. Oh my god, these subliminals are crazy, but this is genuinely how it goes here. Um, I turned my location off like for everyone because I was like, I don't need everyone. I think I only have it on for my boyfriend and my roommate, and oh, actually, my boyfriend and my roommate and my other friend who lives on our same floor, because I don't want other people to see my location. Like, it's none of your beeswax where I am, you know. So yeah, it's kind of not a culture shock, but it is kind of a culture shock because I don't own a car here. But in Kuwait, when I didn't have a license, I would like we the public transport sucks in Kuwait. Like, there's basically no public transport. Um, but at least my parents like would like drive me places. Obviously, Hungary is another different type of culture because you have public transport. So if you can't drive it, if you don't have a car, it's totally normal for a normal person to use public transport, no matter like what your financial like situation is. You like everyone basically uses public transport. One, it's so much easier to use public transport in the city center because if you have a car, you best believe you will be in traffic unless it's like Sunday morning or something when no one is really on the road. And it's amazing because for people that don't have cars, they can, reach all of these places so easily. And that is something that really irks my soul, is that you cannot get from A to B easily here if you don't have a car. Number one reason is because everything is so far away from each other. Unless you just want to like this, the college town is really easy to get around when you're walking. But if you want to get a little bit away from the college town, you either need to Uber or you need to ask someone to drive you. And it's very hard when you don't have a car and none of your friends have a car because you have to Uber and you have to pay like $20 to go somewhere. I was telling like my friends like, oh, like it's fine, I can just use like the public transport because like there's literally like like not trains, they're kind of like trams slash trains and like buses that can take you from A to B. But little did I know, like, you will not take public transport unless you want to get like robbed, killed, assaulted, or abused. At least in Arizona. New York is probably different. San Francisco is probably different about this, but Arizona and those types of cities that don't have like, that city life, forget using public transport. One, like as a woman, like alone, I don't think you should do that, like just for your own safety reasons. But again, I'm a very overly cautious person, but I just genuinely still don't recommend it to like the most badass person in the world. I would be like, please don't. Like, just don't use it. Those are my little culture shocks that I have experienced throughout my year and a half at ASU and in Arizona, honestly, that is crazy to say. I'm almost going on to 2 years of like living in America, which is pretty crazy. But overall, amazing experience. Any experience that you have is a either a learning experience or something that will stay with you forever. And this is definitely going to stay with me forever. I probably will have way more culture shocks as the years go by, and I can't wait for it. And if you guys need me to make another video, cuz I have more little culture shocks, um I will. Just let me know in the comments below. I would also really appreciate it if you guys subscribed. If you're listening to this on any other streaming platform, make sure you follow and rate my podcast, because that's how our community will grow and that's how we will be besties. I have been very much enjoying making these videos for you guys. Let me know in the comments below what kind of culture shock you guys have experienced, literally anywhere you live in the world or any country that you visited. I genuinely would love to know, because I'm very curious about like how you guys feel about these things and how it is in your country, wherever you're from. I will see you guys next week with a new video. Bye!